This paper that we chasing fucked me up too many places. If you playing niggas, take it, send them off on a vacation. But we tired of all the cat niggas acting like they made you. Gon' slide, you got my back, tell me now it's looking dangerous. It sounded like he got a big ego. Be safe, don't be worried about your ego. Like lately I'm a man, it's not a hero, they watch. Remember I was lost, I can't stare on, they plotted. It sounded like he got a big ego. Be safe, don't be worried about your ego. Like lately I'm a man, it's not a hero, they watch. Remember I was lost, I can't stare on, they plotted.
Yo, welcome back to another installment of the All Ego Podcast. As always, yours truly, Jay Legacy. It's been a crazy week. I believe that this podcast today is going to be a short one. I'm going to try to keep it short, at least. As you know, the team's going to pop in through various topics from time to time, and hopefully we don't go down that rabbit hole, but can't say we won't. Yeah, I'm trying to stop saying when I speak. So when you watch the video, you have the patience to take the time and count how many times I say to show me how stupid I am. Keep saying you know, humility is the best teacher. You know what I mean? So let me see. What are the topics that I was going to discuss this week? Well, as always, I like to start off by explaining how a week was for me and how it impacted my life. This week was actually a rather chill week. It was my birthday week. I enjoyed a nice, relaxing birthday. I mean, it's hard to not have a good birthday when you where you live is like resort. You know, there's the beach, the trees. It's it's kind of hard not to enjoy it. So I spent the day with the missus. Getting up there in age, so and plus it was during the week. There's not much to do during the week, so it is what it is. Everything white today: white pants, white shirt, white cup, all white today. Don't judge me, man. Just try to get on my level. That's all I can say. But like I said, I talk about my week. It was a good week. Let me bring my energy up. It was a good week. It was rather relaxing. Still accomplished a lot, built a lot, thought a lot. So it was a great week. A week that you can learn and relax is a great week. But, it's back to work next week. Birthday week is over. The grind hits again. So there's that. That's the week. No news, nothing exciting. I know it was my birthday, but, like I said, I'm getting up there in age. It doesn't mean that much to me anymore. If I'm being honest with you, everybody who asked me what I wanted for my birthday, anyone who knows me will tell you, I just wanted to make money. That's just my mindset, and it is what it is. So some of the things that I wanted to discuss. Well, one thing I'm going to discuss, well, I'm going to wait for my panel to get here, but I'll just give you all the gist. I realize that the way media and society is, it's very calculated. It's rather impressive. Like if you really take the time to just analyze it, it's rather impressive. Some people use these tools to gain power. Others choose to use these tools to, I guess, expand power to others or resources to others. So I don't really judge which end of the spectrum you fall on. I just call a spade a spade. So all that being said, I realize how the media and society really gets into our women and our children's minds. And so one of the things I've seen is I was at the store and I saw a gentleman hold the door open for a young lady, and she kind of she kind of looked at him like what he did was off-putting. Like, why would you do that? And it kind of confused me. I was complex. Like, it was like my mind just couldn't fathom that in the moment. And so she continued walking into the store, and it was this gentleman who had the whole like bad boy, not really bad boy. Like, you could tell he was like an alcoholic type dude, but you know, he'd be in the streets. He's a street dude. And nothing wrong with that. You know, it is what it is. But she was really nice to him. It was obvious they didn't know each other. And then I thought to myself, man, how did this happen? How is it that the men who are basically good men, true gentlemen and providers, why have these men have become, like, how did it happen that they became the ones to be wary of, the ones who, you know what I mean? But the men who clearly has issues, you know, some extreme, some minor, but they're clear as day, that man is seen as more safe. I don't know. And I blame it on the movies. Blame it on the movies, the music videos, all of that good stuff. But we'll get to that when the panel gets here, and I'll go further in depth in what I mean by I blame it on the movies and things of that nature. Another thing I wanted to discuss, like the overall, is what do we do now? Where do we go from here? I'm gonna play a video about let's just say a hot button topic, and we're gonna give our thoughts on it. But then I say, where do we? You know what I mean? Where do we go from here? What now? It's more than just knowing the information. It's like, all right, what are we going to do to use this information as a tool to either do better, change minds, forget change minds. I'm sorry I said that, because I'm not here to change anybody's mind. I'm maybe here to open people's mind to some new information. Let's just say that. But how do we go? What's the next step from there? So that's another subject. So while we're here, I have a video I'm going to play. Like I said, it's a hot button topic, but you know, let's go with it. Let's go with it.
From RFF phalloplasty. If you don't know what this is, I am transgender and I have been in transition for over 7 years. I've went through a few different surgeries, but the one recently, which I just talked about, is where they take a skin graft from your arm to create a phallus.
My arm did not give me any complications. This was actually the easiest part.
Wow, look at that.
It didn't quite go as planned. I did stage 1, which was the graft off of my arm, the scrotoplasty, vaginectomy, urethral lengthening, and a skin graft on my leg to fix my arm.
Now, with the surgery, there is a lot that goes into it, a lot that, you know, can happen, and usually ends up with risk of complications.
I had multiple complications, ranging from pulmonary embolisms to a urethral infection to staph, MRSA, septic shock, and ultimately C. diff. The C. diff led me to needing a fecal transplant in order to get my body back in health, in order to actually heal from these surgeries.
Wow.
I have a bladder infection that is causing me pain, and having this suprapubic catheter in is also making me uncomfortable and causing me pain, which then caused the lightheadedness. I was supposed to go back to work today. I wasn't able to because I just couldn't get out of bed. It was so painful.
Currently, I've had 12 complications with just my arm alone.
Things didn't go as planned, so I had a second surgery, which was a repair surgery. Still didn't go as planned, so I had a second repair surgery.
If you guys don't know what a suprapubic catheter is, it's pretty much a catheter that goes directly into your bladder and drains out into a urine bag, and the tube that comes out from underneath your belly button, and that stays out, for however long you have the catheter in.
I have also had 8 complications with the phallus and with everything like down here.
I am supposed to be off work until the surgery, which is on the 22nd. So I have a little over 3 weeks to just decompress and just really process what happened in the last couple of weeks, which I haven't really,
There was really nothing that could prepare me for this surgery and for the complications I was going through. So altogether, right now, I've had 20 complications in the span of over a month and a half. It's day 46 from RFF phalloplasty.
Wow. Wow. It's like, that's tough. If I'm being honest with you, man, in all honesty, I see things like this and I feel bad for people who, I don't even know how to describe it without offending anyone, but just the whole concept of not being happy with who you were born to be or what you was born to be. You're so uncomfortable and so unhappy or discontent with it that, did you see these people's arms and their legs? Like the skin, the layers of skin being taken off. Like you're willing to put yourself through that type of, like if you was watching a movie and you watch somebody's skin get sliced at, like you would be like, that they're torturing that person. So it's like you would rather be tortured because you just are so you can't live with what you was, what your biology is from the day of birth. That's just, that's what you was born as. What you feel like, what you want to be, or any of that good stuff. I get it. That's your choice, your prerogative. What I'm speaking on is, like, man, you're willing to go through all of that. Like, to me, it's just a whole lot easier. It's like, hey, fuck it. Like, I couldn't imagine being so, man, I feel for you. I really do. I feel for y'all in this situation. I might not, whether I do or I don't agree with it, really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I get how crazy that gotta be. I'm gonna try to get Vinny V in here. I don't know what's going on with your connection, Vinny V. Hopefully you can be in here this time. I just shared a quick video. It was fucking crazy, but I guess what I'm saying is, like, where do we go from here? It's like, how do we have this information about what's happening to people in all spectrums of the world? Like, have y'all seen what's going on in Canada? Y'all see this fire? It's like, it's so strong that it's pushing smoke south to the point where it's infecting people's lives. I think last time I checked, it was like 115 million people are being affected by it. People can't go outside. People with asthma, children, old folks, heart disease. It's like even people like pretty much healthy, you can't go outside because it's too much smoke. Where I'm at, things is good, but for how long, I don't know. But we have so much that we dealing with. We have the information. It's, come on now, it's all at the palm of our hands. We look things up all the time. Skinny V, I see you, man. I don't know if your connection is here or not. If it's going in or out. I like your setup, though. I'm sure you can hear me. I like the setup. But ultimately, my point is, where do we go from here? Dad, Vinny, I really do hear you in the building. Just don't hear you speaking if you are. I don't know what to do about that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know what I mean? But either way, man, where do we go from here? I know me personally, I'm at the point where it's like we have to take action. You know, action is like lack of a better word, hit the streets, and not the way like marching and protesting type hitting the streets. No, I mean like hitting the streets. Be willing to have these tough conversations, go into neighborhoods and challenge people on their perspective. And yeah, I understand some neighborhoods are a little rough. You don't know what you're getting into. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, if you're not willing to stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And freedom and true justice and liberty is something that you have to fight for. It's something, it'll never be just given to you. So it's like we have to be willing. I'm not saying that we have to be willing to take blood, but we can't be afraid to shed blood in the process of carrying forth with the mission. I mean, as men, I always thought that we understood that, you know, if I have to die trying to do what's right, if somebody break into my house, if I gotta die to protect my family, then I gotta die to protect my family. There's like that's just that understanding, and where we are in this world, our families are in danger. Between, like I said, between what's going on with I don't even know if that was nature or if that fire was set by man, but whatever it is, we dealing with it now. Now it becomes a natural. I don't know what the word is. Sorry, y'all. Bottom line is, it becomes something that we have to deal with. That's from nature because it affected our air, our ecosystem, So we're dealing with that. We're dealing with wars. We're dealing with wars between countries. We're dealing with wars over finances. It's like, are we still saying with the dollar? Or are we going crypto? If we going crypto. What crypto we going with? We all getting behind Bitcoin, or are we going with what's that thing called, Brinks, or whatever it is, Bricks or Breckle, whatever. I'm sorry, my mind is going today. That's why I said I'm gonna cut this one short. But pardon me. So it's like where there's that war. We have the war on our children. Our children are being targeted. Our women are being targeted. There's a race war that really shouldn't exist. I'm telling you, man, this concept of a race war shouldn't even exist. I don't even understand how we get put into the mindset of that's what we're dealing with. It's a facade. It's a made up thing. There is no race war, man. It's just some people are comfortable around other people. Some people are not. Same way you have people in your neighborhood that you interact with, that you're cool with, but there's other people in your neighborhood that you really don't rock with, and then there's others that you just don't like. It's the same thing. You have your reasons, you know. There is no race war. It's a war between the wealthy and the poor. That's the true war. But they disguise it as racism. So we out here fighting a racist war that doesn't really exist. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. There's so many wars between men and women and the doctors. I mean, the scientists and the people who got theories and philosophers. There's just so many wars going on. What are we going to do? How do we? What's this? Which war is most important? I'll give you a couple of seconds and let me know. Because you asked me, the most important war, first and foremost, is the fight for women and children. Because without family and community, we can't accomplish nothing. None of these other issues that we are having can be resolved and we move forward to a better place where where these obstacles aren't in our way. The only way we can even scratch the surface of these issues is through family and community. And as long as our family and communities are being torn apart, there's nothing we can do. I showed this video about the people who are in transitioning. I showed it for a reason, because it's like you've been fed this idea, this fantasy, this belief that you can create, you can make yourself whatever you want to be. And they don't tell you about the negatives, the horror, the percentage. I mean, they'll give you numbers, but they'll tell you that there's a certain percentage of people who have had this surgery and it was successful. They'll give you that, but they won't tell you about the after effect. Like, well, after the surgery, this person had to come back for 2, 3, 4 more surgeries, got 2 infections, and until this day is on medication, just because the surgery is not really reversible. So what they tell you is, oh, well, you know, this person, this percentage of people got the surgery and it was a success. We have some patients who have had some minor complications, but they came back. We had it fixed, gave them some medication, and until this day, they still happily living with. Yeah, they have no choice but to be happy with it, because there's no going back. So what do we do from here? Who do we speak to? How do we fix this? How do we address this? What's the education? Are we still just telling people, hey, do what you feel? Are we letting them know, listen, man, this is something that you might feel like in a moment, but listen to all these things that can go wrong. I'm telling you, man, not having men and daddies in our lives really put our heads up, because none of this should be where it's at. When the facts are laid out of all the things that can go wrong, and a lot of these beliefs and opinions are being debunked through science, through like people. All right, I saw the article where there was I don't know whether it's a trans man or a trans woman. I want to say it's a trans man. Isn't that someone who transitioned into a man? I'm gonna say that, and if I'm wrong, correct me. But I saw an article where a trans man, or a woman transitioned into a man and has been living as a man, is now pregnant. And the article says that this is now proof that men can get pregnant too. And it's like, whoa, no, this is proof that no matter how much you try to change yourself to a man, you're still a woman, because women are the ones who get pregnant. Or should I say, the female is the one who gets pregnant. So you could identify as what you want. You can have people identify to you what you want them to identify you as, pronouns and all. But science doesn't care what you think of yourself, doesn't care what I think of you. Science is science, and it's not biased, and it's heartless. It doesn't care. If you think I'm lying, go see cancer patients. You think that they're not trying to do something to get that out of them, to stop themselves from going through that? They got to go through it. Science, it's heartless. It don't care. So this belief that you can be what you want to be and turn yourself into what you want to turn yourself, and it's going to work out fine. Nothing bad's going to come from it. It's like, whoa. Where do we go from here? Where do we go? I'm open to all options, to all opinions, suggestions. Where do we go? Do we start with the schools? Do we start in the community? See, I believe we start in the community. We got to build a community where we're not reliant on the schools. And that starts with the men. Men, we got to do what we got to do to find a way to make a living to a point where our women can stay home. And women, y'all got to learn to live a little bit more humble so we can build up. You can stay home and build up. Be willing to sacrifice 4 or 5 years. You stay home with your kids, homeschool them, while your man goes work his 2 jobs, 2 jobs, and stack a little bit of paper. Yeah, y'all living in small means in a small home, and probably not the best neighbor. I'm not saying you got to live in the jets. I'm not saying that. But you ain't got to live in the best neighborhoods either. Sit back for 5 years and be like, you know what? We're going to live humbly for 5 years. And I'm going to support this man and be the best I could be to this man. Be, loving, supportive, motivating, inspirational. I'm going to be all these to this man for 5 years. And get behind that man. Get behind those children. See, if you're homeschooling, or women can homeschool as a whole, we don't have to even worry about this war on our children happening in the schools. Sure, we don't even need all our women. Can we get half, a quarter? And then you take in a couple of kids from the neighborhood. Homeschool. That's the start. So the men, we got to get our money right to put our women in a position to be home. Women, you have to humble yourselves and want to live a little lower within your means to be able to stack and build something up for the future and get the kids out of the schools. I don't understand why that process is so hard to it's simple. It's simple mathematics, planning, strategic. But where do we go from here? How do we get people to get on board to these concepts, to these ideas, to wanting to fight the good fight, put in that work, how they say it, boots to the ground. What do we do? So that's all I wanted to speak about today is where do we go from here? How do we protect our women? How do we protect our children? And after this is taken care of, what war do we address first? Because something's out of line. The war on nature, science, the truth, resources. So we think that we're living in a time where there's no war because the violence ain't the same. We don't fight the wars the same way we used to. Back in the day, when you were a soldier, you go to war, you got to be real with yours. You get your musket with your with your sword at the end. What do they call it? And you gotta look a man in his eyes. Pull your joint out. That's how you used to fight wars. Wars ain't fought that way no more. Wars is fought like this. Wars is fought with one of these. Wars is fought with do this. The violence is so minimal. As a matter of fact, the violence nowadays is a distraction from the war. And it's like it has nothing to do with the war. It's people who are distracted by the wars that are going on around us. Where do we go from here? I really ain't got much to say today, man. I just wanted to touch on that. I might come back with a couple of my compadres, but I just wanted to make sure I touched on that and let it be known that we can't just be talking. We can't just be exchanging information. Where do we go from here? What steps is next? All I can say, man, it's your boy Jay Legacy. Until next time, all ego. Oh, Don't forget to like and subscribe. I gotta get on that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I mean, if you want to leave a comment, you can, but I don't really care about comments. I mean, they care. YouTube cares because of the engagement. But me, personally, I get why y'all don't leave comments. But at least like or dislike. Either or. And subscribe. It's your boy, Jay Legacy.
This paper that we chasing fuck me up to any place. If you playing niggas, take it, send them off on a vacation. Look, we tired of all the cat niggas acting like they major. You gon' style, you got my back, tell me now it's looking dangerous. It sounded like he got a big ego. Be safe, don't be worried about your ego. Like lately I'm a menace, not a hero, they watching. Remember I was lost, I can't steer on, they plotting. It sounded like he got a big ego. Be safe, don't be worried about your ego. Like lately I'm a menace, not a hero, they watching. Remember I was lost, I can't steer on, they plotting.